Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will understand about the muscle adaptation, how muscle can adapt due to the exercise and the stress response. Adaptation is the process which is the result of the stress responses of the muscle. In this way, the muscle will grow strong and able to lift more weight. First of all, we will understand about the anatomy of the muscle, the composition of the muscle. Let's understand about that. First, here is the person which that is weightlifting. Weightlifting is the stimuli which that trigger the brain to stimulate the growth hormone during the recovery time. And in this way, where the weightlifting affected muscle which that will lead to grow more. The stress of the weight is the environmental stimuli. Whenever you will work out in the gym, which that will adapt to grow the muscle more, the size of the muscle will increase. This is a muscle which that contain. This is the striated skeletal muscle, which that contain inside is the multiple fascia. This multiple fascia of the muscle which that contain are many muscle fibers. These muscle fibers are surrounded by the fascia, which that is contain myoglobin is the red color, which that provide the oxygen. A myocyte is here, which that's contain a myofibril, and this is the neuron. This is known as the motor neuron for the contraction of muscle. Neuromuscular junction between the myofiber and the neuron, and this is the blood vessel. Anyhow, this is the smaller part of the myofibril is known as sarcomere, and a lot of sarcomere are present in the myofibril, while the myofiber is the cell of muscle. Cell of muscle contain multiple nuclei, and it is known as the multinucleated striated muscle. Striated muscle is so called because the striation, the light band and dark band. More exercise to break more myofibers and injury of the cells. Recovery required to repair the muscles, and in this way during the exercise the cortisol hormone production will increase. Let's understand about the myofibril. Myofibril contain a repeated unit is known as sarcomere. This contain a thin filament actin, thick filament myosin, and troponin also present. This is the Z line, and between the Z to Z line is known as sarcomere. But remember, it is contain I band and A band, isotropic and anisotropic band. Isotropic Anisotropic band is due to the myosin, while the anisotropic band due to the actin. Show, for example, middle area. The myosin here and the actin filament and troponin is here, while this is the titin is attached with the M line and the M band or M plate. In this way, it will tightly form a sarcomere. The sarcomere contained here is the actin and myosin. The myosin is here, which that contain a pair of head, which that collapse due to the calcium bind with the troponin. When calcium bind with the troponin with the actin thread, the thin filament, after this will lead to contraction. Contraction required without the ATP use but the calcium bind. Anyhow, this is the initial exposure of weight lift, which that will lead to give the more motor neuron firing, and exocytosis of neurotransmitter is known as acetylcholine. When acetylcholine bind with the acetylcholine receptor will lead to influx of the sodium, and sodium influx will lead to depolarization to trigger the calcium gated channel will open to move inside and stimulate the endoplasmic reticulum or sarcoplasmic reticulum. To increase the calcium will bind with the troponin, and myosin combine with this activity, and in this way the contraction will occur. And after this, the contraction stimulate the myofibril, stimulate to the mitochondria to produce ATP, but in this case, the less ATP due to the initial stage, and in this, the anaerobic respiration will occur. And here ATP is used for the hydrolyzation and relaxed muscle hydrolyzation of the actin and myosin bridge formation. If not occur, after the death, it will known as the rigor mortis. But anyhow, when decrease of the ATP, the relaxation required difficulty, and in this way, the anaerobic respiration as well as rupturing of the myofibril can occur, will lead to injury of the muscle. Exercise will stimulate the hypothalamus to increase the adrenocorticotropic releasing hormone stimulation to the adenohypophysis to stimulate the adrenocorticotropic hormone, which that will target to the adrenal gland, and when target to the adrenal gland to produce cortisol more. When cortisol will enter into the blood circulatory system after the recovery and digest is work as a opposite function, we will discuss later on it. This is the cortisol will stimulate the myofiber, the muscle breakdown, catabolism will occur to, and in this way it will stimulate the sympathetic nervous system activation. Sympathetic nervous system activation means the fight and flight response, and in this way the brain divide into the autonomic nervous system. It is involuntary, and involuntary autonomic nervous system is divided into the parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system is response of the growth hormone due to the rest and digest activity during the recovery time. In this way, the satellite cell will be proliferate into the myocyte, myofiber. This also the testosterone is used for the recovery and insulin whenever you will eat food, and insulin like growth factor 1 will bind to cascade of phosphorylation for the synthesis of protein like myoglobin and myoglobin gene activation and the nucleus replication. In this way the cell grow more. Cell division increase, proliferation and differentiation will increase due to the satellite cell reside. Satellite cell is the type of the stem cell. Muscle stem cell. The stress and injury, the proteolysis and lactic acid accumulation and hypoxia and hypoxemia and anaerobiosis will occur as a stress. This stressor due to the exercise and sympathetic nervous system activation, and in this way the glycogen synthesis, proteogenesis, and it is the response of the muscle injury and the muscle memory will occur, the multiplication of the nucleus more. Glycogen synthesis, proteogenesis, fibrinogenesis, epigenetic mutation and muscle size increasing and glycogen storage increase due to the increase of the muscle size, muscle cell size. Injury site repair is the repair of the muscle and muscle thickness, testosterone use and affinity increase. In this way, the production of testosterone will be increased because the requirement of the repairment of the of the muscle is very important. So that is why the testosterone will boost more whenever you will train the bigger muscle. The mitochondria increase due to the stress response and the anaerobiosis, and in this way the actin and myosin synthesis due to the and collagenosis and as well as the DNA acetylation for increase the gene activation for production of that protein, which that is important for the muscle growth. And in this way the muscle will become a bigger as compared to before because the stress. So remember, the stress is very important. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.